It's video day. I took everyone through a really quick digital setup for aligners. I figured I would take the time to do a full setup. So this video, it might be a bit long. But these are my teeth. As you can see, I already have them prepped to start the process. So the first thing that we need to do is segment the teeth. So I'm going to segment the maxillary module first. This is basically, you have all one piece here, and you have to teach the computer that the teeth are each separate. Now, I only do short setups, and that's what I'll be doing here today. So I usually start over here, bring it to the 4, and then you have to set the the distal and the mesial points of each teeth. And the closer that you get, I'm using my mouse roller, the better the program will be able to set the points that you'll see next. So I'm holding down the mouse roller and dragging it, and I'm just setting the points as I need. Now, of course, you can do full setups, but I'm just doing this exactly, but I'm just going to do it quickly. So I have my mesial and distal points, and I click next. Now what it's going to do is it's going to define the cut. This is from an iTero scanner, and you get mixed results with this one. Like right there, I don't like that. If you see right there, so I'm going to go into Fast Edit. I'm going to choose the tooth, and I'm just going to make the cut a little bit differently here. Then I'm going to choose the one next to it, and I'm going to make that. Depending on the accuracy of the scanner, like if you get, I preferred to get scans from Trio scanners, because they're about the best out there. So the cuts are defined well. So I'm going to go into Next, Sculpt. Now with the sculpt, well, this takes a little while because as you can see here, it's adding the stubs to the teeth. So it's adding the roots to the teeth. So if you had a CAT scan to layer on top of this, you could make this exact. But I just like to come in here. I get rid of everything else, and I just like to smooth out the sharp edges on each side, because it's the computer making cuts, so it's not going to be perfect. So I like to go through every single tooth and smooth everything out. Now I'm going to just keep on talking here, or maybe not. I don't know what I'm doing. But no, this is my mouth, so I've done this as samples and to teach people and to show people. I've made a couple of videos about this, which I accidentally deleted. And I really had a lot of fun with this because I can really mess up my mouth bad. But I only do this under a doctor's care, which I am actually in the process of doing. So I smoothed out everything. Now we're going to go into the next, which is Rotation Center. And this is where I just check and make sure that the rotation is good. Make sure that it's centered the tooth well. I know that there's a shortcut to jump in between teeth, or you can even have them all at the same time. I don't like to do that. I just like to check out each tooth. Even the ones that I'm not going to be rotating, because on my upper is pretty good. It's just the one tooth, that one right there. I should have caught it a lot earlier. Started to rotate, I don't know, 20 years ago. Okay, so this is done. I like how everything looks, so I'm going to hit done. So now I'm going to come in here, segmentation of mandibular module. Now, this is going to go the exact same way as the upper, but as you can see, I got a lot more crowding in here. So I'm going to start with the 4 and set my mesial and distal points. And I just learned this trick the other day about that the closer that you get, you really just got to come in here and just play around with it. I've done this for doctors and they keep on sending me work. They keep on having me do this, so I don't know, I must be doing something right. So I will hit next to define the cut. I'm really hoping it screws up the way that it typically does. So I see the defined cuts and it didn't, so I got a little bit there. No. Okay, on that one there, fast edit. But as you can see, I just want to just get the whole tooth. That's going to be okay. Okay, so I'm going to go into the next. I'm going to skip the sculpting part on the next one because I already showed you that. And it's just a time-consuming thing, and I don't want this video to be 25 minutes long. So it's adapting everything. I got a hole in there. I don't know how that happened, but I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to pretend that I sculpted everything. Now I'm going to go into the rotation centers. So I like that rotation center. I like, I don't know about that one. I'm going to just adjust that one just a little bit. And there's also ways to adjust the rotation centers once you get into the setup, and I'll show that to you. It's a trick that I just learned literally yesterday. Oh, the other way. There. I just like to, and that one. And I just do 2 to 2. Once you start getting into cuspids, you really need attachments. It's really easy to make attachments here, which I'll show you. Oh, that's why I mishit a tooth, but okay. So I'm going to say that that is done. So now it is segmented. The computer recognizes that the teeth are individual objects. So now I'm going to come in here to virtual set it up. I'm going to do the upper first. Now, even when I'm only doing a lower, I still at least like to get this done and segment the teeth like really, really fast. And I will show you why in a bit. But so I double clicked on that. And then now it's just like we've been doing now for 50 years with wax, with the wax setups. Instead of doing the wax setups, I'm just changing the order. Instead of doing wax setups, this just comes out a lot more clean. That's all that I see. Now I can either do it with this, or I can also do it with this. Like I can, but I do just like to use the hand tools. And then I come in here and click Perform Collision Detection. So that tells me, and it always does that, and I hate that, but so that tells me I'm going to need 0.34 IPR mesially and 0.20 distally and 0.34 mesially. I could probably get that down a little bit, but let's say that that's good. But the reason why I do the uppers and the lowers is that, say if I, see, okay, so I move that in, and that's showing me there that I now have 0.70 contact with a lower tooth. So like even if I'm only doing one arch, I like to have both arches in there just so that I can see that. But because it's simple enough to do, especially if you're just doing it like really, really quick. Okay, so that one is done. So now I'm going to come in and do the more complicated one, the lower. Now my lower used to be perfectly straight. It's not no more because of that one upper tooth. That's why I tell doctors the earlier that you catch this, the fewer trays that you're going to get. So I just like to start off with like one tooth and get that position where I want it to be. And then I start messing with the other ones. And it's still performing the collision detection. As you can see, I got 0.52 nail. That's about 0.5 is about the most that you want to do. Because anything more than that is just, it's just way too much. So I got that down to 0.42, but now I have a little bit of, so I can adjust that a little bit more just to get so that that contact is not there. And I can always go into the upper, see what's causing that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'll get rid, oh, and also I always seem to do that. But so now I have a setup. Let me just, and there's different tools. You can change the angulation. Like that, I might bring in a little bit more. That was just my cell phone. I'm just trying to do this video all in one take because I've made it now a couple dozen times. So I'm going to bring that in. And okay, I'm not going to get exact here. But now what I like to do, but I'm just going to just go to the next step. Let's just say that that's done. There's no points of contact besides that. But I do, at some point, I am going to do both of these, and I'm going to prepare a card for the doctor where I hit control and I can choose all the teeth and I can show all the IPR that needs to be done. I click out of there and I can show all the IPR that needs to be done on that one. Okay, so I got a set it up here. If I was only doing a spring aligner, this would be it. But I'm doing a set of trays for myself. So I got to come into here, the tooth movements, and this tells me all of the tooth movements that I've done. I go by the biggest number with each arch. So the biggest number, the only tooth that I moved on the upper arch is 19.6 degrees. It's typically 2 to 3 degrees per tray. So I'm looking at 8 times 3, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 2 would be 14, so I'm looking at 7 trays. I can do these separately, but I'm not going to just for the sake of time. So I'm going to come into here, subdivide setup, subset counts. I'm going to type in my 7, and it's going to give it to me. So as you can see, oh, I didn't mean to do that. So this is going to be, now for some odd reason, this one here is actually number 7. So I'll get original with setups, setup 1, setup 2, etc. And then it's going to finish up with that one. So now I'm going to save this, apply, select it, set it up. I've done it before where I haven't saved it, and then I had to redo it. Now, if you're like looking at attachments, that's what all of these are. You really have to get it in there and play. You can measure your points. You can change the center of points. Like if I wanted to change that one there, I can put that one, and then it's going to rotate from that point. So, or I think I just hit the wrong button, but if I wanted to do attachments, I can do different things. I really don't know what that is. But there's different tools to play with. I'm still just trying to make this an under a 20-minute video, but so let's just get rid of that. And then, so we are done now. So I have all the setups that I need. So like now I export these setups. So I'm going to export them all. This does take a while. So just while this is exporting, I believe in presentation. I prepare reports for the doctors that will show what each tray will move and how it will move. The final one, I just like to make it pretty. 15%, so I still got a little bit more talking to do. My name's Chris. Bryn Mawr Orthodontic Lab, Association of Orthodontic Laboratory Professionals. Be down in Texas in another day. Come on. Okay, this is going to take a little bit, but I want to let it take as long as it takes because I want to show you what I get afterwards. And I really can't do anything else until it exports everything. So you want to go get a cup of coffee? I'm sipping on a cup of coffee now. Believe it or not, everyone, I actually have a speech impediment, a stutter. So if you ever run across someone with a stutter, let them talk. Don't talk over them. Don't finish their sentences. Just be nice. Be excellent to each other. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. It's just downloading a lot of information here. And I will show you why. But you have the setups. And something else that I like to do is that after I do the setup like this, I'm going to print the final version. Of course, I'm not going to print the entire thing because that costs a lot of money, but I only print the 3:3 just to make sure that it comes out the way that I want. And I don't like that setup at all. Like that tooth needs to be moved. That they could all be moved a little bit better, but I was just trying to do a better job than what I did on the other quick one. So what do you like to do outside of labs? Is there life outside of labs? I wonder about that myself. I like to golf. I'm a coffee fiend. My wife thinks that I have an awful sense of humor, and a lot of people agree. We're at 95, 96. All right, come on, baby. Almost there, almost there. Come on, come on. And something else is if you use another program, Appliance Designer, and there we go, you can actually put names and things like that on there, which I do with my printer software. So now if I get out of here, I'll show you. This file has been modified. I do want to save the changes because, like I said, I've done setups and I've forgotten. So if I go in here to my export thing, now I have all of my things. I changed the names. This is maxillary. This is mandibular, so I'm going to call this one lower 7. This one I'll make into U7. So now I got all this networked in, so now I can just pull all this stuff up on my printer, print each tray where I will embed my name and the number on each one. Then I can print the models, make the trays, and send them off to the doctors. And there you have it. Thanks. Bye.